Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that there are quite a few details I missed in my first trailer analysis of the recent Fire Emblem Engage trailer. You guys pointed out a lot of things in the comment section, and as I promised, here's the second video with everything I failed to notice. If you want to check out my first trailer, you can click the video appearing in the top right corner of your screen. But if you've already watched that, here are the things I missed about the Fire Emblem Engage trailer. Let's get started. In the intro segment, the depiction of both Leaf and Lucina kinda mirrors their ults in Fire Emblem Heroes. Many people in the community have drawn strong parallels with the gacha game, as we are quite literally summoning heroes from other worlds to fight for us. This might be Nintendo's attempt at getting more Heroes players into the mainstream Fire Emblem franchise. This is particularly noteworthy by the fact that they chose to show Lyn as the main character for Fire Emblem 7 instead of Eliwood, as Lyn is much more popular in Fire Emblem Heroes. Weapon durability seems to be gone. We don't see it anywhere in the clips shown. According to the initial leaks, this game will play very much like Fire Emblem Fates, which also did not feature weapon durability. I'm curious as to how they plan to solve the problem of silver and legendary weapons. In Fates, they pretty much just gave every good weapon a ton of downsides, making some of them completely unusable. Interestingly enough, durability also doesn't seem to exist for vulneraries. Maybe they are one use only, or maybe they are items which can be used once per battle. Or potentially, vulneraries could be held in your inventory to grant passive healing. The possibilities are quite varied. Using an effective weapon in battle seems to triple the amount of damage you deal, instead of tripling weapon might. Critical hits still deal triple damage as they always have, however. Movement seems to be much lower overall in this game. The main character is seen only having 4 move, and the paladin Vander only has 6. Maps also seem a lot smaller overall, so this may be a change to support that. Alternatively, it could also be to make the game play more like Heroes. We also see that when Alfred pairs up with Sigurd, he gets 1 additional move. In the battle forecast, we can sometimes see several damage numbers in a row. This indicates the order of attack, from right to left. In the battle where we see Aloy and Marth attacking an Elusian soldier, we can see the damage numbers 21, 21, and 10. For some reason, Aloy seems to have some kind of skill that disables counterattacks. This might be a result of their special fusion attack. The 10 damage coming after the initial 2 attacks probably belongs to Marth. This means that instead of showing 10 times 2, for example, it might just show 2 10s. However, when we see Fram attacking the Elusian soldier later on, we do see her damage being displayed as 6 times 2, though this could maybe be unique to fist weapons, or it could be a combat art. Speaking of Fram and combat arts, the attack she performs looks like a combat art and is shown as some kind of scroll. It might be that brawlers will use these special scrolls to attack, or maybe that the scroll icon merely represents combat arts. Oh, and the character seen standing left of Fram might be a boy, not a girl. My bad. The special attack seen after the cutscene with Aloy and Marth seems to be some kind of fusion attack, where the lords become one. In the battle, we don't see Marth floating around Aloy as a ghost as he's seen doing earlier in the trailer, but rather he seems to be part of him, and Aloy is also seen floating above the ground, wielding Marth's improved weapon Mercurius, which is probably an upgraded version of his rapier. We do also see something kinda similar when Alfred fuses with Sigurd. When Celine casts her Ragnarok spell, she literally warps across the battlefield before starting her attack, which is similar to how the witches function in Gaiden/Echoes. She also loses a point of HP after casting Ragnarok, which mirrors how spells used to cost HP back in those games. Also, Celine's hair briefly changes color when she casts her spell. This may very well be her fusion-style attack with Celica. Similar to in Three Houses, the skill stat will still be called Dexterity, or Dex for short. This is probably done to avoid confusion, as there are skills in this game, and the developers didn't want us to confuse skill with the actual skill stat. Charm seems to be gone as a stat entirely though, and there also seems to be something called SP, which could stand for skill points, indicating that there might be a budget that your character can spend on allocating certain skills. The main character's class is called Dragon Child and is classified as a dragon, seeming very similar to how Corrin used to work in Fire Emblem Fates. The break effect, which appears above a character when they are attacked, may very well just be a sealed defense skill. We can see that equipping the Emblem ring, summoning Marth, grants a skill called Break Defenses, and this may very well be why the break effect happens. In the Japanese version of the trailer, the Pegasus Knight Chloe is seen dealing 13 damage twice to the hammer-wielding thief, with the thief having a much higher chance to hit her and actually dealing damage. Whereas in the American version, Chloe is seen doing 42 damage once, with the thief not being able to hit or damage her. This indicates that they used a higher level version of Chloe in the later version, and that she might not be as overpowered as we were led to believe. The costume change in the monastery seems to be limited by 2 slots, a dress slot and a mask slot. The guy putting on the ring later on in the trailer may not be the evil dragon dude shown earlier on, as his skin color doesn't match. This may be another evil Garneth type character serving the fell dragon. Alright, so with all these new details, now comes the time where I want to discuss whether my viewpoints on the game has changed from my initial watch. And I will say that seeing all these similarities to Fire Emblem Fates makes me hopeful that we might get a Fire Emblem game with some very solid gameplay. Fates may have had arguably the worst story in the franchise, but at least Conquest had kick-ass gameplay. And seeing all these elements of Fates in the trailer makes me think we might get something as good, though I may be overly optimistic here. Here's the thing though, if I could choose between a Fire Emblem game with bad gameplay and a good story, or a Fire Emblem game with good gameplay and a terrible story, I would actually choose the latter. You can skip a bad story, but you cannot skip bad gameplay. I'm actually very hopeful that we might get a Fire Emblem game with some good maps and challenging objectives, though again, I might be getting my hopes up here. Still, one thing that is also worth noting is that we've seen absolutely no indication of a route split. There are no diverging paths being advertised in the trailer, no various factions, and all the lords seem to be on the same page. So this might just mean that instead of splitting their development resources over several routes, they might just pour everything they have into a single one, which I think is going to be good for the game. At the end of the day, the story can be cringe and the character design awful, but if the actual gameplay part is good, I will enjoy the hell out of it anyway, and going through all these little details have actually made me more hopeful about this game, not less. As it stands now, the only thing that greatly worries me about this game actually isn't the story or the maps or the characters, but the My Base feature. If they make it not take up a huge part of the game similar to how it worked in Fates, I believe I might enjoy this game quite a bit, but if it's like the Monastery of Tree Houses, I will probably grow to detest it. I really pray the latter is not the case. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed these details I missed, and if there's even more things I failed to notice, feel free to point them out in the comment section, and who knows, maybe I'll have to make a third video. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more Fire Emblem news. I usually try to get these videos out as quickly as I can. My name is Mengs, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!